You're watching Ready Set Drone, and today I have been flying, and for several weeks I've been flying the GEPRC Crocodile Baby. And I gotta say, this is my first 4-inch long-range explorer drone in the true sense of the word, with a really long flight time, and I've really been enjoying it. So stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. So if you're new to the channel, I hope you'll subscribe to lots of content about drones. The GEPRC Crocodile Baby is a long-range, 4-inch, fairly lightweight explorer type drone. This is not designed for freestyle. It is designed to be flown around at a fairly good distance from you, given that it has the long range it has, and it's built for that, and a pretty long flight time. So it comes in 3 different configurations. You can get it with the Caddx transmission unit and the Nebula 2 camera, which is compatible with DJI systems. You can get it with an analog system, or you can get it with a built-in 4K camera. What I have here is the Caddx digital FPV system using the Nebula 2 camera. It also comes with a GPS unit built into the back, so you can do a sort of return to home rescue situation, and I'll show you a test of that in a few minutes. But it's not going to be like GPS, like a DJI Phantom or Mavic or something like that. It's a little more rough, but it still keeps it oriented to where you are and allows you to have an out in case you just get totally lost as where you are. It can actually come back to you, or if it loses transmission signal, it can actually come back to you in rescue mode. Okay, so I'm gonna test the GPS on this guy. I'm gonna take it up, and I'm only at 20. You gotta be 100 meters away before it'll come back?
Or else it'll it's 100 meters.
So basically, I should be fine if I went over to either the baseball diamond or the other end of this park, right? All right, so it says I'm about 300 feet. Yeah, I switched it to feet. So I'm at 300, 360, 390, 400 feet. I should be good now. Okay, rescue mode activated. Oh, it's going up. It's coming back. Wow. All right, I just took it out of rescue mode.
Cool. Look at that.
Wow, that is so cool. I mean, we're used to that with DJI normal drones, but not with the FPVs. All right, I'm gonna try it again, a different direction. Make sure it wasn't a fluke, some sort of a fluky fluke. Now I'm still at 14.6 on the battery. All right, so I'm over. I am 544 feet away, and where is it? Rescue me! Just hit rescue, it's going up. It is coming back towards us. It looks like it goes up to, I can't even tell what's my altitude here. I don't have an altitude. Oh, 123 feet. And that was all automated, what it just did.
Yeah.
That
You can set your height and beta.
So
There's a couple settings in Betafly where you can set.
So is it coming in to land?
No.
Oh, it's just
It'll hang out.
Yeah, I just saved it.
Does it do just a hover loiter, or does it do a?
I don't know what's doing that.
It was coming. It looked like it was coming down, honestly. Slowly.
All depends on what your settings are. What do you have it set for?
Not super familiar with how that gets set up. So.
Yeah, I should go in. I mean, again, it was a quick setup I did the other day for making sure it was gonna
Well, it's
fly.
working.
Yeah, it's working.
And the deal is, I mean, it's not supposed to come back and land like a Mavic.
It's supposed to come back until
But
you
it's
get
supposed to
signal.
get you back to where you can get
See it.
back
Yeah.
control back over it.
Yep.
Have you flown the Evo yet?
No.
I've got one sitting there.
Man, I'd love to.
Yeah, I would love to fire it up.
Having some linking issues with this guy.
What's the linking issue?
You know, it was fine last night. And, so I may have to. I'm not too sure.
So what is going on with it? What is it doing?
Well, it's not linking. And so the problem is I'm having to link each time.
Oh, it's not doing it automatically?
Yeah, and this was fine a few months ago. I want to see that.
GPS rescue mode is working correctly on a switch, you may choose to set GPS rescue as your fail-safe method. And if you choose to... Let's start by telling you about what Betaflight GPS rescue mode is and what it does and what it doesn't do. Because if you're thinking that Betaflight GPS rescue mode is like a full autonomous flight experience, Laban's not that. So you may be expecting things like GPS layer, where
Woohoo!
just hold position.
Upside down. This comes with brushless motors, of course, and they're the GEPRC 1404 2750 motors, which are designed for, again, not a tremendous amount of power, but more efficiency so that it can fly for a long period of time and give you lots of flight time and lots of range. It has a carbon fiber frame with a 1.5 millimeter thickness on the top plate, 2 millimeter thickness on the bottom plate, and 2.5 millimeter thickness on the arms. And it does also include 2 spare arms that you can replace in case you crash one and crash it and break one and need to put a new one on. It takes a 4S battery and includes an XT30 connector, and it's nice. I prefer top-mounted drones generally, or quads, where you put the battery on top versus it hanging off the bottom, and you can put 2 battery straps on it pretty easily, which really can hold down your battery, especially when you get into the longer, skinnier batteries. You can get this optional 3000 milliamp hour 4S lithium ion battery that GEPRC sells, and with this you're going to get the most flight time out of it. They say 28 minutes. We tested it and got a little bit less. I'll show you that in a minute, but it is a pretty good option for long range flight. This is going to give you quite a bit of flight time, and it's a good form factor to fit onto this quad. One other thing I really appreciate about this quad that is unusual is that it has a USB-C connector on both the caddx unit as well as on the flight controller on this side. So you can use the same USB-C cable to connect to your caddx to activate it, and then you can update firmware, and then you can also use the same cable to connect your flight controller to configure this in Betaflight. It does have a longer antenna than most quads, and this is the GEPRC Momoda 5.8 gigahertz antenna, which is longer than others and therefore gives you a little bit more distance between the antenna and the rest of the electronic components, which helps to avoid interference and get a clearer reception from a longer distance and gives you part of that long range flight that you're looking for with this guy. So overall, I have to say I'm extremely pleased with this little guy. It's a different type of flying. It's not a freestyle quad. It's not really a park quad as much because it doesn't have the ducted props. I wouldn't want to fly it in my backyard or something like that. It can get up and go when it's in acro mode, but this is more of a cruiser. This is something you're going to use when you want to cruise out a long way, maybe out over water, over the ocean. It does okay in wind. It's not great in the wind. And I will say the camera quality is so-so. You can't record locally on it, so you might want to put a Insta360 Go or something on it if you want to record video with it. But you can fly it for a long time, have a really good time with it, and enjoy just cruising with an FPV quad, which is what I've enjoyed doing. And again, with the DJI digital system, it is so clear and so easy to see what you're doing that it's a blast to fly, and I highly recommend this guy. It also has a really cool little buzzer built into the back, and this buzzer allows it to actually keep buzzing and flashing a light so you can find it in case the battery comes unplugged. The buzzer has its own little battery built in that charges off of the main battery. So when you have this plugged in and you're flying, the battery on the buzzer is charging. But as soon as you lose connection or the battery comes unplugged or dies, this buzzer will start going off and will give you a really loud beep that helps you find it. and it'll keep doing that until you push this little button here on it or plug a battery back in. And like I said, the button's kind of hard to find. There we go. So you heard that little beep beep beep. That means that it's good to go, and it knew you pushed the button. I also want to tell you one other thing that's kind of unique about this little guy is that because it has a GPS unit, it actually won't arm until it has enough satellites. So when you're sitting on the launch pad and you're about to take off, if you can't get it to arm, wait until you have 10, 12 satellites or more, and then it will actually arm and take off. The first time I did it, I was like, what's wrong with this thing? And it took me a minute to realize that I didn't have enough satellites. It's looking for setting that home point so that it can take off and know what it has to do in order to return to home. GEPRC has really done a good job of putting themselves in that sweet spot between the really hardcore build-it-yourself quads that the FPV community has been building for years and more of a plug-and-play kind of thing. This one is bind and fly. It's pretty easy to get set up and works really well right out of the box. So if you're looking for something that's pretty easy, you have to have a little bit of information and knowledge about Betaflight and how to set it up. But generally, you can get this thing going in less than 20 minutes, configured and ready to fly, which is pretty nice for a quad of this quality. I'd love to hear your comments about the Crocodile Baby in the comments below. And again, if you like quadcopters and drones and RC stuff, please consider subscribing to Ready Set Drone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. All right, Jace, you're gonna fly the baby croc.
Oh, I am.
Shouldn't have to GPS rescue it, hopefully. But you can try it, just to see what it's like.
You did show off your new chair and all this too,
Yes,
right?
yes, and you got to take that knife out of your pocket so it doesn't poke in there.
Oh man!
Thank you.
You gotta disarm me. What am I?
If you're gonna sit in my chair,
I can understand. I can
put
comply.
the weapons away.
I can comply with that. Okay. What was your arm and disarm on this thing? Sorry.
Top, bottom right.
Okay.
Lower right. Lower right. Nope.
I gotta see.
Yep,
Okay?
that's it. Yep.
Okay.